Well, hi everyone. My name is Will Doublestein. I'm the music teacher here at Boone Meadow. I'd like to welcome you to my classroom and thank you for being here. The kids here have been learning so many great things in music, and we just wanted to share it with all of you. So it's a really non-traditional music program. I hope you enjoy it, and we're going to greet you today with our hello song. So kids, let's all stand up. That's perfect. I love it. We've got family participation. Parents, you're welcome to participate however you want. Okay? All right, here we go. You guys ready? Sing nice and strong. Here we go.
Hello, friends. How are you? I'm very happy to see you. Greet the audience.
And boogie on down. Let me hear it, kids. Give up and turn around. One more time.
Hello, friends. How are you? I'm very happy to see you. Greet the audience. And boogie on down. Give a jump and turn around.
Sit down. All right, parents, I will make it really easy for you to know when we're done and ready to move on to our next little part of the program with a little applause sign. Okay? So, so good. If you weren't here at the beginning and you didn't hear, I just want you all to know that wherever you're standing is super flexible today. So if you feel like you'd rather stand over here or move throughout the program, that's just fine, no problem. All right. Well, this year we've been talking a lot about the 4 pillars of music.
Dun, dun, dun.
And those 4 pillars of music
Dun, dun, dun.
are the steady beat, the rhythm, the melody, and the harmony. It's been a few weeks since we've done this because of spring break, but I want to see if you guys can remember your definitions of each, starting with the steady beat. Ready, go. The steady
Steady is a pulse that stays the same speed.
That's right. It's a pulse that stays the same speed. And today we're going to do a little activity called Monkey See and Monkey Do. In this activity, we've got a bunch of monkeys who will be sitting in a chair, creating their own motion. That's right. Creating their own motion. Now, we won't have everyone go because that would take too long. But if your child isn't featured on this activity, they will get to be a monkey at the end of the show on our last piece. So let's start with Landon. Landon, are you ready? All right, now the rest of you kids, I want you to sing really, really loud with Landon and keep his beat. Okay, buddy, you ready? All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, and sing.
Oh my goodness, I declare, there's a monkey in a chair. Copy him because it's true. Monkey see and monkey do.
Good job. And 1, 2, ready, and sing.
Oh my goodness, I declare, there's a monkey in a chair. Copy her because it's true. Monkey see and monkey do.
Sophia, you're next. And 1, 2, ready, and sing.
Oh my
ready, go.
Oh my goodness, I declare, there's a monkey in a chair. Happy birthday, because it's true. Monkey see and
And 1, 2, ready, and go.
oh my goodness, I declare, there's a monkey in a chair. Happy her because it's true. Monkey see and monkey do.
And 1, 2, ready, and go.
Oh my goodness, I declare, there's a monkey in a chair. Copy her because it's true. Monkey see and monkey do.
Later. 1, 2, ready, and go.
Oh my goodness, I declare, there's a monkey in a chair. Happy then because it's true. Monkey see and monkey
It's not here. Okay, let's do 8, and Ava's not here either. Okay, I guess that's it. All right, good. Well done. Well, hey, I gotta tell you, you guys were keeping a great steady beat. Steady beat's really hard to do because when we get excited, we want to speed up, and when we get nervous, we want to slow down. So you guys did a great job keeping it steady. Well done. Let's move on to our next pillar of music.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love being able to do that. The rhythm. All right, let's define it together. The
Rhythm is the long and short notes and rests that fit inside the beat.
And to show what we know about rhythm, we'll be doing rhythm identification and rhythm cards. Now, as we identify rhythms, students, you do not need to raise your hand. As soon as you know what this rhythm is called, you can just call it out, okay? All right, let's do our first one there.
Wait.
What is it?
Quarter note.
Quarter note. That's a quarter note. Okay, good. How about this one?
Quarter rest.
Quarter rest.
1/8
That's 1/8 note by itself, but if you, well, what's this?
2/8
That's what it looks like when you have two together. Good. This is a
half note.
half note and a
Half rest.
half rest. Great job. Okay, now the students will be reading rhythms using rhythm cards. And 1, 2, ready, and go.
Top, 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 top. Top, top, top. Top, top, top.
in the second row here. That was great. Well done. Good job, guys. We're reading music. I love that. All right, let's move on to our next pillar of music. The melody. We'll be doing 3 activities for this one. Singing technique warm-up. We'll sing Do, Re, Mi from The Sound of Music, and melody cards. All right, let's stand up and show our audience how not to sing. Good. All right, let's fix it. Let's fix it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go.
Stand tall, back straight, feet front, back straight, face front, concentrate. Stand tall, back straight, feet front, back straight, face front, concentrate. Stand tall, back straight, feet flat, back straight, face front, concentrate. Stand tall, back straight, feet flat, back straight, face front, concentrate.
Last time.
Stand tall, back straight, feet flat, back straight, face front, concentrate.
Okay, well don't sit down, kids. We got to do Do, Re, Mi. Now, anyways, Do, Re, Mi, this song uses solfege. And solfege is syllables that we use to tell the difference between high pitches and low pitches. So those solfege syllables you may remember when you were a kid, but Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Okay? Now, usually we use hand signs, but in 1st and 2nd grade, we use something called body signs. Kids will show you what that is. The reason we use body signs is it really emphasizes the difference between high and low pitches. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, do it. And 1, 2, ready, go.
So, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a tropical sun. Me, a name, I call myself, Fa, a long way to rhyme. So, a needle pulling thread, Fa, a new telescope. T, a deer, blowing us back to do, do. A deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name, I call myself, Fa, a long way to run. So, a little boy red, Fa, a little ball slow. T, a little yellow cat, blowing us back to do,
Well done. Okay, well just like the kids were reading rhythms before, now they'll be reading melodies using melody cards. Now just for a moment, I'm going to assume that not all of us in the room know how to read music. And I'm going to give you just a quick little idea of how it works. We'll be using the same body signs that we just used, okay? But now we'll be putting it on a music staff. To start, we'll only be using 2 pitches, Mi and So. Kids, I'd like you to show your turn and talk partner or your little sister where Mi and So Okay, while you're doing that, parents and guys, when you're done, you look right back up here, okay? All right, I think we got it. All right. So, this is a measure of music. A measure is what we call everything between these vertical lines, which are bar lines. So music is separated into measures, and these horizontal lines, there's 5 of them, are called a music staff. The purpose of a music staff is to show us what pitches are high and what pitches are low. Now we also have this long squiggly symbol here at the beginning. This is not a note, it's called a treble clef. And a treble clef teaches us tells us to use our high singing voices, which is perfect because in elementary school we all have high singing voices, except for the grown-up men who have low voices in bass clef. But none of us are grown-ups singing today except for me. But as the teacher, I have to use a kid voice so that the kids can model my high voice in a treble clef. It's kind of interesting to some people, I suppose. Now this is a 4/4 time signature, and this tells you that in every measure there's going to be 4 beats, here represented by hearts. Now every time we do anything with solfege, we have to ask ourselves a very important question. And that question is, where is do? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, do can go anywhere I tell it to go because it's movable. Right? But as the teacher, I've decided today I want do to go right here. Now this is below the music staff on an invisible line. And if you know where do is, you can figure out where every other pitch is. So, in this case, our first pitch is what, kids? So, exactly. All right, are you guys ready for our first melody card? Okay, here we go. Hold on. Sorry, I have my voice recorded on this, but I have the volume down. So, just a second here. So me. And kids, when you sing it, I want you to really sing out strong. I know it's kind of scary with so many people, but really sing loud so we can hear those pitches. So me. That's better. I want you to do every melody card just like that. Okay, look at this one. That was much better. Great job, guys. Let's flip it around. In level 2, we're going to add the pitch la. So turn and talk with your partners and show where la is. Okay, eyes back up front. Okay, our first pitch is what, everybody? La. So, and then? La. Okay, let's do this one. Well done. And this we use all 3 pitches. Sounding great, guys. Double them up. And now just flip it around. Okay, everyone stand up for level 3. This uses do, re, and mi. So go ahead and show your turn and talk partner where is do, re, and mi. And Rosie, if your partner's not here, you just join the closest group. Okay, eyes up front. Now this is a tricky one, kids. This is a tricky card. So really look at it close. Stay standing. Here we go. Good. You got it. All right, here's this one. And our last melody card. Give them a round of applause. Great job, kids. Okay, you can sit down. So parents, as we continue to learn over the years, we will use these solfege syllables. For example, in choir, they'll use them all the time. For sight singing, where they just are reading music without knowing without having seen it before, they'll be able to use those pitches to show where those sounds are. Now, I also want to mention that what we're working towards is not only learning solfege, but learning the musical alphabet, which are the letters. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and G are the 7 notes we'll be learning. Those are the notes that you'll find on any instrument, like a xylophone, or a piano, a guitar, a recorder. So that's what we're working towards. Okay, guys, it's time for our last pillar of music.
Dun, dun, dun.
The harmony. Now this is a new one for us. We've only been working on harmony for a few weeks, so I'm going to put our definition right here on the screen. And I'm going to invite kids to say it with me. The harmony is when 2 or more pitches are played or sung at the same time. In a moment, the kids will move to the mallet instruments. So any of our audience who's over here, if you guys want to make your way over that way, I would appreciate it. And kids, when you go to the mallet instruments, you get to pick whichever one you want. Just keep in mind that we need kids on every row. So we can't just have kids in the front row or in the back row. We need to we need to have some kids in every row. Okay? And you may walk to an instrument.
Lucy.
What's that? Let's make sure we fill up this row too, guys. Maybe a few people here. Good. Excellent.
Ours are BC.
Excellent.
Mine is BC.
Okay. Now you don't have to take off any notes yet. We'll take off notes for our next song. But in this activity, each instrument is going to be playing different notes. So kids, look at your tables, and on everyone's table you'll find a little note card with 2 notes written on it. So everyone, look at your notes, keeping in mind that your notes are different from the other people's notes.
BC.
Find those notes on your instrument. So find where those notes are. And you can use the big note or the little note or both of them at the same time. Okay, you see your 2 notes? The other B, there's only one B. Okay? Perfect. And we're going to create harmony on instruments. Here's how we'll do it. We'll have the first row play their first note first, okay? Then they'll keep playing as we add the next row, the next row, the next row, and the last row. Then when I say switch, what are you kids gonna do?
Switch.
Yeah, switch to your other note, right? And we'll all do that at the same time. Are you guys ready? Okay, parents, are you ready to hear some harmony?
Yes.
All right, here we go. First row, first note. Ready, play. Add the second row. Good job, guys. I love the way harmony sounds. I love it so much I want to hear it one more time. Okay, let's do it one more time, kids. First row first, nice and strong. Ready, play. Add the next row. All right, one more time, parents. Good job. done, kids. Okay, let's put our mallets down. And for just a couple minutes, we're going to go back to our seats before returning to the instruments for our last song. Okay, guys, just a few announcements here that I hope you'll appreciate. First is I have a YouTube channel called Bowtie Music, and we're going to be using the video from this performance. Thank you, Mrs. Welch, for taking the video. And so if anyone's spouse wasn't able to make it today, or grandma or grandpa, or someone who you think would enjoy seeing this Informance, I'll have that uploaded in about a week. Also, I want to say thank you to a few different groups who, without their generosity, our classroom would look nothing like it looks today. Okay, good. And those, we'll start with thanking Zionsville West Middle School. Now, when I got here to Boone Meadow, we did not have very many instruments at all. And the instruments that we did have were not very good instruments. So I was talking about it with a friend of, okay, it's my brother. My brother is the principal at Zionsville West. Talking about the instrument situation, he said, well, you know, Mr. Doublestein. And I was like, well, sure, Mr. Doublestein. He's like, well, Mr. Doublestein. He said, we have a whole closet full of drums that are for elementary school kids that have been sitting unused for years. I said, well, I know someone who could use those. So he's letting us permanently borrow them. So those are all the drums you see up here. Now, you didn't get to hear them played today, but in a future year for a future program, I hope you will. Now, next, I want to thank ZEF, the Zionsville Education Foundation. I see there's at least a few ZEF people here today. So thank you for all of these instruments. This year, ZEF made a huge donation to help us purchase this classroom set of mallet instruments. And these instruments range anywhere from $300 to $1,100 each. So it was a big investment, and so I'm so grateful because the whole philosophy of music that I use depends on instruments like these. So a big thank you to Zeph. Next is the Boone Meadow PTO, who provided the instrument stands and also the camera we're using to film our program today. So anyone in the PTO, thank you for your support. And finally, one more thing back to Zeph is people at Zeph are sending me this summer to Anderson University to take a couple of weeks of classes so I can learn how to become a better music teacher by becoming certified in ORF. And ORF is a philosophy of music education that uses more than like your traditional music class, which when I was a kid was you came into music class and you sat at a desk and you sang from a book. And ORF really values the overall big picture learning of music through whether it's like instruments, drums, xylophones, recorders, through dance and movement, which you'll be seeing in a moment. And of course singing is still important, but also reading music and understanding why and how music works. Now ultimately the goal of ORF is to have fun making music, and especially through creating music. So in our last piece today, you'll see the kids creating their own music, and I'll show you how we can do that using those ORF instruments. All right? Wonderful. Final thing is I do have a Donors Choose grant. If, you know, I'm really trying to use this year as a building year so that we have you know, all the instruments that we'll be needing for the next 15, 30 years here at Boone Meadow. So there's a few more instruments on that wish list. If you're not familiar with Donors Choose, it's just a website where you can go and donate if you'd like. No pressure at all, but we're raising money for 2 instruments called bass bars, which are kind of like a xylophone, but one note, and that note is really big, like this big. And the bigger the note, the lower the sound. So with big notes, we're going to have bass sounds, and you can actually feel bass sounds, not only hear them. So the kids will be able to stay on the beat better when they have those bass sounds in the classroom. Anyways, if you'd like more information about my Donors Choose grant, on the music stand right over here, on your way out, you can grab a flyer. It'll tell you all you need to know about it. And on that flyer is also a link to my YouTube page. All right? Okay, great. Well, our last piece for today is 5 Little Monkeys. And this comes from a book called 5 Little Monkeys Sitting in a Tree. What we're going to do is we're going to take this book and we're going to make music out of it. So you guys want some story time just real quick? We'll do it real quick. Okay? This is 5 Little Monkeys Sitting in a Tree. I'll read it first and then we'll turn it into a musical piece. 5 little monkeys and their mama walked down to the river for a picnic supper. Mama spreads out a blanket and settles down for a snooze, while 5 little monkeys climb a tree to watch Mr. Crocodile. 5 little monkeys sitting in a tree tease Mr. Crocodile. Can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Crocodile. Snap! Oh no! Where is she? 4 little monkeys sitting in a tree tease Mr. Crocodile. Can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Crocodile. Snap! Oh no! Where is he? 3 little monkeys sitting in a tree tease Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along comes Mr. Crocodile. Snap. Oh no, where is he? 2 little monkeys sitting in a tree tease Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along comes Mr. Crocodile. Snap. Oh no, where is she? Now there's only 1 little monkey sitting in the tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along comes Mr. Crocodile. Snap. Oh no, there are no little monkeys sitting in the tree.
And there's 5 little monkeys sitting in the tree right now.
You're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little monkeys sitting in the tree. Their mama hugs them. Their mama scolds them. Never tease a crocodile. It's not nice and it's dangerous. Then 5 little monkeys and their mama eat a delicious picnic supper. And they do not tease Mr. Crocodile. All right, kids, I'd like all of you to please calmly walk back to a mallet instrument.
That same one. Take off that.
Yes, you're going to take off 3 notes, the B and the 2 Fs. Okay, so what we're about to do is we're going to change this from 5 little monkeys to 10 little monkeys swinging in a tree. We're giving notes because we're improvising. And improvising is basically making up the music as we go. Some notes wouldn't sound good on the speed, so we're taking those notes off. It's one of the advantages of having these instruments is we can remove the notes that wouldn't sound good in the context of the song. Okay, so take off the B and 2 Fs. Very good. Okay. Now you're all standing perfectly because this is going to be our dance floor, or at least our movement floor. So I'm going to call 10 people to be our monkeys,
And the last one's me.
and I'll be the crocodile, and we're going to act this out. All right, Dason, come on up. Hayden, Audrey, Jada, Ethan, Eli, Nicholas, Sydney, Michael, and Austin. 8, 9, 10. Great. You guys are my 10 little monkeys, and you're going to swing in the tree. Now make sure that you don't run in to all the parents over here. Okay? You do not want to run into and tackle the parents. Got it? That would not be good. Now, when I say teasing Mr. Crocodile, they're going to go. That's right. Instrument players, you will be improvising using this poem. And I'd like everyone to say the poem together. It goes like this. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. And just like that, they'll improvise their own music. Okay, 10 monkeys, are you ready?
Yeah.
Now don't run, you can only swing, right? Okay, here we go. 10 little monkeys swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. Play. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. After a while, 9 little monkeys swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. See you later, alligator. See you later, alligator. 8 little monkeys swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. See you later, alligator. 7 little monkeys swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. See you later, alligator. See you later, alligator. 6 little monkeys swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. See you later, alligator. Swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. See you later, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. See you later, alligator. 3 little monkeys swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile.
Can't catch me.
Along came Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snapped that monkey right out of that tree. monkey, Mr. Crocodile. A monkey, Mr. Crocodile. Quiet as can be. Out of that tree. Swinging in a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile, teasing Mr. Crocodile, unlocking Mr. Crocodile, quiet as can be, and snap that monkey right out of that tree twice. Wow, guys, you guys did an amazing job today. I'm super proud of you. I want to thank one more time all the parents for coming. I really appreciate you being here and supporting us as we make and enjoy music together. Let's hear it one more time for those kids.